Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's not just making headlines, but we're writing history books: the incredible, explosive rise of women's sports. We're talking about a seismic shift, a revolution that has been decades in the making and is now finally getting the primetime attention it deserves. Forget everything you thought you knew, because the game has officially changed. For years, women's sports were often relegated to the sidelines, treated as a secondary event or a feel-good story. But right now, we are witnessing a complete paradigm shift. It's not just about participation anymore. It's about dominance, record-breaking performances, and a level of commercial power that is impossible to ignore. Let's start with the numbers, because they are staggering. Just look at the world of basketball. Caitlin Clark didn't just break college scoring records. She shattered them, becoming a household name and drawing millions of new fans to the sport. The 2020 FIBA Women's Basketball Championship game drew nearly 19 million viewers. Let that sink in. That's more viewers than the men's final, and more than most recent World Series or NBA Finals games. This wasn't a fluke, it was a statement. The WNBA draft that followed, it obliterated its previous viewership records by over 300%. The message is loud and clear. People are desperate to watch women compete at the highest level. And this isn't just an American phenomenon. Across the pond, the UEFA Women's Euro 2020 final at Wembley Stadium was a sellout, with a record-breaking crowd of over 87,000 people. The television audience across Europe peaked at over 365 million viewers. In Spain, the women's El Clásico between Barcelona and Real Madrid has repeatedly filled the 90,000-plus capacity Camp Nou. This isn't just a trend. It's the new standard. But what's driving this incredible surge? It's a perfect storm of several factors. First and foremost, the athletes themselves. We are living in a golden age of female athletes who are not just talented, but are also unapologetic, charismatic, and savvy media personalities. Icons like Serena Williams didn't just dominate tennis, they built global brands. Megan Rapinoe used her platform to advocate for social change, inspiring millions. These athletes are more than just players, they are cultural figures. They connect with fans, especially younger generations, on a personal level through social media, sharing their training, their triumphs, and their vulnerabilities. They're authentic, they're powerful, and they're building communities of dedicated followers who will tune in to watch them, buy their jerseys, and support their sponsors. This brings us to the second key factor: visibility and investment. For a long time, the argument was, no one watches women's sports, but the real question was, how can they watch if it's not being broadcast? Now, major networks and streaming services are finally waking up to the demand. They're not just airing games on obscure channels at odd hours anymore. Brands like Nike, Adidas, Visa, and Google are pouring unprecedented amounts of money into women's leagues and athletes. They've realized that investing in women's sports isn't just good for their image, it's a brilliant business decision. The fan base is loyal, engaged, and growing exponentially. These deals provide leagues with the financial stability to increase player salaries, improve facilities, and invest in grassroots development, nurturing the next generation of superstars. Think about the NWSL, the National Women's Soccer League in the US, a few years ago. Its future was uncertain. Now, it's expanding, with new franchise fees reaching over $50 million. Players are signing multi-year, multi-million-dollar contracts, something that was unimaginable just a decade ago. This isn't charity, it's a reflection of the league's growing commercial value. The impact of this rise extends far beyond the stadium or the balance sheet. It's reshaping societal perceptions of strength, ambition, and power. For generations, young girls had limited role models in sports. They were told to be graceful, not powerful, to be supportive, not dominant. Now, they see women on their screens every day who are fierce, competitive, and celebrated for their athletic prowess. They see Coco Gauff winning a Grand Slam at 19, Eileen Gu dominating the 10th Games and the Olympics, and the Lionesses bringing a major trophy home for England. This representation is incredibly powerful. It tells young girls that there is no limit to what they can achieve, not just in sports, but in any field. It normalizes female ambition and success. When a women's game is the biggest story in sports, it sends a message that women's achievements matter. Period. Of course, the journey isn't over. There are still battles to be fought. The fight for equal pay is ongoing in many sports. Disparities in media coverage, while improving, still exist. And there are still outdated, sexist attitudes that players have to contend with, but the momentum is undeniable. The dam has broken, and the flood of support, investment, and attention is only going to grow. The narratives are changing, too. The focus is shifting from the athletes' personal lives to their professional achievements. The analysis is becoming more sophisticated, focusing on strategy, skill, and athleticism, just as it is in men's sports. The era of treating women's sports as a novelty is over. This is elite sport, full stop. What we are witnessing is not just the rise of women's sports, it is the recognition of its power. The power to captivate millions, the power to generate massive revenue, and the power to inspire a generation. It's a story of incredible talent, relentless dedication, and a long overdue shift in the cultural landscape. The records will continue to fall, the stadiums will continue to fill, and the legends will continue to be made. So, the next time you're scrolling for something to watch, put on a women's game. Whether it's soccer, basketball, hockey, or cricket, you're not just watching a sport, you're watching a revolution in real time. And trust me, you don't want to miss it. Thanks so much for watching today. What are your thoughts on the amazing growth of women's sports? What's your favorite sport or athlete to watch? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. See you in the next one.